Hello, welcome to another Microsoft Flight Simulator video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Carenado Cessna 182 RG2. And we're going to be taking a test flight in this thing from Glacier Park International and having a little bit of fun in it while we check it out. But before we do that, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Also the notification bell so that you can keep up to date on all my latest videos. Leave a comment down below whether or not you've flown this aircraft or want to fly it. I'd love to hear from you. With that all out of the way, let's get to flying. As always, these Carenado aircraft are very, very detailed and very, very nicely modeled. As you can tell, it's got a lot of character in the texturing and the detail. And look at that. Just amazing. So cool. You got the exhaust on the bottom of the aircraft, and it just looks like it's been flown quite a bit. Has some hours on it. Just really nice detail in this aircraft. This aircraft's pretty fun to fly. I've been testing it out here and there. I just got it. I wanted to get an aircraft that that wasn't too big, but it wasn't too small. I mean, it's just like a medium. Well, it's a small aircraft, but a medium-sized Cessna, I guess, is what I was looking for. And it's got all the bells and whistles in it, so you can take it on some decent flights, you know. It's got this nice cargo area back here. It's a very nice textured, detailed interior. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It has all the bells and whistles, as I was saying, for like old school navigation. You got you can do VOR or GPS. It's got an autopilot and anything you could or want in an aircraft. So that's going to give it a higher rating for me, because some of the current Carenados that have come out before haven't had autopilot. And I'm like, man, I wish this had autopilot that I could use. But that's okay. This one does. Let's let me get my headset activated and we will jump into the cockpit. But let's take another outside look here from the top here. Just look at the beauty of the modeling of this aircraft. Really cool aircraft. Lots of fun to fly. Alright, so here in the cockpit, we have a nicely detailed cockpit, as we saw earlier, but the doors open. And you can hear the difference in sound when they open, which is pretty cool. See the brakes there on the wheels? That's pretty awesome. So we'll shut those up. The windows also open. Both of them. One thing I do notice is that you do have to duck down to look out the side window. The side view is kind of skewed, but overall you can see where you're flying without any problems. Got visors that work. What else do we have in here? We have an iPad with static elements. So let's throw the static elements on. We've got external power, tow bar. You can turn the pilots on or off if you don't want them to be visible. Open the doors this way as well. So we got both doors open. With that, if you like to use it that way, although the static elements disappear, you got a baggage door in the back somewhere. Oh, it's the right side. Let's take an outside look there. Or left side. So you got that. I'll shut that door so we can take a look at what it looks like with the covers on it. So as you can see, we're inside with the covers on it, but it's got the covers and wheel chocks and all that. So that's pretty cool. You're probably wondering what the price on this is, and I paid $20 for this. And what it comes with, it's pretty cool. It's got the GTN 750 X, if you have that downloaded. It's a third-party GPS, which I'll show you once we get started. You can have it either on or off. How do you do that? On. I'm not sure how to do that. I'll get the plane rolling. I'm not sure how to get it to turn on. Maybe I have to have. It is installed. Activate. For some reason, it's not clicking. I think I might have to have the power on to switch it between the 530 here. This is the 530, right? Yeah. 530. And you can switch it between that. And with the GTN 750, if you have a Navigraph account, which is subscription based, you can use your Navigraph on that. You can choose it to start cold and dark in the cockpit, ready for taxi, ready for takeoff. And then it's got your checklist here if you want to go through your checklists. But we'll go back to this part here. We'll get the plane started, and we'll take it up for a spin here. Just getting my controller reading correctly. We'll get the mixture up all the way. Let's get the lights going. Landing, taxi, and pitot heat. That's the fuel pump, so we get the fuel pump going. Battery, it's probably not in the right order, but you know, whatever. There's a primer here. I don't think you need to use it, but we'll prime it anyways. 3 times. Third time's a charm. And we'll switch the ignition over and get it rolling. As you can hear, the sounds are pretty nice in this thing. I do enjoy the sounds in this aircraft. Let's rev it up a little bit. So yeah, overall the sounds are really nice in this aircraft. I love them. Let's see if I can turn this on here. Activate. Now I do have it installed, but I'm not sure why it's not letting me activate it, because I was flying with it the other day. It's not wanting to activate for some reason. Okay. Let's turn off the power on this and see if maybe that's why. I don't know, but it was working for me the other day. I'm probably doing something wrong, so don't let that be a deterrent to you, because it was working the other day and I'm just not doing something right here. But that's pretty cool. It's got all that feature for $20. I mean, you can't beat that. And the way this thing flies, we'll take it out here and get her on the runway and take off here. Take off from this runway. Well, I guess I can go this way. I thought I was parked elsewhere. So we'll just turn over here. One thing that I notice is when you hit the brakes, the suspension bounces and you can't turn. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty realistic. Hitting the brakes, you can't turn in this thing. So you gotta plan your braking and try not to See, I'm turning right now. It's very hard to turn when you're hitting the brakes. We're going to take off over here. We're just going to use half this runway because we don't need it all. But yeah, this is a joy to fly. I should do some nighttime visualizations because the cockpit is very nicely lit at night. So we'll get up in the air here. Keeping that under speed. I'm going to do some flaps, one notch of flaps, just because we're using half the runway. Or trim up a bit. You can hear the gear, or the landing gear, hitting the deck there. That's pretty cool. So I'll go to the outside view, and the landing gear are retractable in this, which is pretty cool. So you get a lot more airspeed in this thing than most Cessnas because you don't have the drag of the landing gear bogging you down. But it literally has working and functional autopilot, a nice GPS. The third-party GPS is pretty cool too. You can use your Navigraph on it if you have a Navigraph account. Let's get these landing lights off. We're gonna go around here and land back on the runway and take a look at the night lighting on this. In fact, I might as well leave all the lights on since we're gonna do that. We have a shoot. Why can't I think of it? Cowl flaps. Cowl flaps right here. So you got your cowl flap settings closed halfway, open all the way. You can hear them closing. That's pretty cool. I'm just going to leave them open since we're going to be landing. But yeah, I like this aircraft a lot. I've always been a big fan of the Carenados just because they're so nicely detailed and immersive when you fly in them. This one, I'm trying to compare it to the other Carenados I have, and I think this one is probably my favorite out of all of them, although the Beechcraft 18 I think might take my favorite spot. But all the others, like I have the Bonanza and the Cessna 195, which the interiors are really cool, but the sound of this aircraft takes it up another level. So that is why I'm rating this one high on my list. And it's a lot of fun to fly. It flies very nicely. Smoothly, so it'll be a fun plane to fly on maybe some longer trips. The only thing I don't like is I have to duck down to look out the window, the side window here, but other than that it's pretty nice. Very easy to land. And we're gonna land over here. It goes pretty quick too. I mean, we've got you can go up to 180 before your wings rip off, but about 140 knots for just cruising along. You could go a little faster if you'd like. I just try to keep it in the green there. Engine damage, I don't know if it does have it or not, but it does have the EGT, so you can watch that needle. Oh, I guess the EGT's right here. You can watch the needle and maximize your
fuel efficiency, which is nice. Yeah, this thing is quite a joy to fly. Now it's telling me to put my landing gear down, so I'm going to do that and see if I can have a nice smooth landing here. Let me give it a notch of flaps, and we'll take her in for a landing. But again, the sound design on this is amazing. Really good for a Carenado. I'm impressed. Alright, we're dropping down into the runway here, and we'll pull off to the side and take a look at the night light in the cabin and on the exterior. But very easy to fly, very forgiving. If you're into an airplane that's just a joy to fly, that you don't have to worry about it getting squirrely on the runway or in the air, this plane is pretty forgiving. Alright, we have a nice touchdown there. Good sounds on the touchdown. And the brakes. Alright, I'm going to pull off to this next taxiway, and then we'll take it off to the side here, out of the way, and try not to go too fast. Sometimes I get this thing going so fast that I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make that turn, because if I hit the brake, it's not going to turn on me. But we're going to bring it over here where we started. Just park it right here, and then we'll switch it to nighttime. So here we are at nighttime with none of the lights on, as you can see. We got a switch up here that turns your dash on, and then, wow, I can't see without my headlights. Or my headlamp. Let's do these first. You got your floodlight there and your floodlight there that lights up your cockpit that way. And then as I showed you, again, there's that light there. We'll move this, and then we have light dimmers right here for the dash and then also the instrumentation. So if you like just flying in red, you can turn these lights off, and you're in your nice red lit panel. But it's pretty good night lighting. We've got all the lights on outside, so let's take a look at what's going on here. So yeah, this is what it looks like on the outside. And yeah, I don't think you could ask for anything more. This is a good all-around plane to have fun in the sim, and I highly recommend it. It's definitely, I have no regrets buying this at all. And for the price, $19.99 here in the US, you can't beat it. It's a good aircraft. So I guess that's all I can say about this thing. I guess we could shut it down. Let's shut it down here, and you can, whoops, and you can hear what it sounds like when the engine turns off. It's even got a little shake when it turns off, which is nice. But yeah, this is the Carenado Cessna 182 RG2, and it's available now in the marketplace. I highly recommend it. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll take this thing on a flight in the very near future. I'm I'm not sure where yet, but we're going to have some fun in this bad boy. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a great week or weekend, whatever you have ahead of you. Stay safe and Godspeed.